why men, especially you older guys who are 50 plus, should never be afraid of getting older, right? Even for you younger guys too. You should never fear getting older, because I see so many of you dudes going, oh man, got some grays, and yes, I do have some grays coming out here. You guys should never be afraid of getting older, because unlike women, for men, we age like fine wine. That is why they have that saying. For men, the older you get, the more distinguished you become, the more financially secure you become, and the more social status you gain, right? I mean, everything starts working in your favor as a man the older you get. Okay? Because when you're young, when you're kind of just pimple-faced, teenager, you're just kind of goofy, right? I mean, you just are, right? You're just kind of confused about a lot of things, just kind of immature, and you haven't figured yourself out yet, right? You haven't had enough social encounters to understand who you are, to have much like introspection about yourself. Whereas women do, right? I mean, women, especially if they're even the least bit good looking, they start getting attention as young as 12, 13 years old. People just want to do them favors, right? People just want to like roll out the red carpet for them, because they're female, right? They have a lot of privilege. I mean, women, they have a lot of privilege. You don't even have to be hot. You just have to be just okay, and you'll still get privilege. And you'll have a lot of these social encounters that will help you to become more socially calibrated, right? This is why women just tend to mature faster than boys do at a young age, right? They tend to mature faster. And that is something that does not work in our favor, because we don't have those type of social experiences yet. Usually as a boy growing up, you're very isolated, even sometimes into adulthood, right? You live in a lot of isolation. You might have friends and stuff, but you don't have anyone, inviting you to parties and, making sure you hang with the popular kids or anything like that. You're just kind of like an outcast most times, right? And you're just socially isolated. So you don't have a lot of opportunities to grow yet. But the good part about this is it builds character, right? Just because you're isolated so much, you will find outlets to indulge in that will help you grow. Whatever it is you like, hobbies you like, things that you enjoy, you will just start indulging in these things to really just kill time and to keep yourself occupied and entertained and amused, right? You'll indulge in things that will later prove to be valuable in your life. Will later prove to help you. It might not seem like that when you're in your room of your parents' house and they're telling you, yeah, you can't go out, or you don't have anybody to go out with. You will engage in these hobbies of yours that will later help you in life, right? Hopefully they're positive hobbies, but even if they're not, even if they're destructive, you can learn from them, right? I got in a lot of trouble as a teenager and things like that. I could tell you stories about, some crazy stories, but they did help me later in life, right? They just helped me far beyond what I ever thought they would. But so as a guy, you should never be afraid of getting older. Okay, because everything will eventually culminate together and work to your benefit, right? All those past experiences you had with like bullies, even people picked on you, and I got picked on as a kid. Though even that helped me, right? All of them. I mean, it will come to fruition as you get older. But one thing you will realize just by default, that being a dude, and this is the one privilege that I will say that we do have as men, right? Because a lot of women try to be like, oh, men, have it good, man, you have it good. And it's like, that's not true. Like most times we don't have it good, right? We're like the most oppressed group of the most oppressed gender on the planet. But one thing that does work in our favor is we do get better with age. Just across the board, we get better with age. We are like a fine wine, right? We do get more mature, financially stable, gain more social status, gain more resources for ourselves, right? And this is also too, I'm doing a separate coaching video about this, but this is also too why when you get older, you get accused. You notice how they accuse men of having a midlife crisis, but they never accuse women of having a midlife crisis, right? It's only men, right? It's you having the midlife crisis, because all of a sudden you can afford the brand new Corvette that you always wanted, or the classic car you always wanted. You can afford, you have the ability to get younger women all of a sudden, so you take advantage of that. Right? You can afford the nice watch or whatever it is, and to dress better, to make sure you get your haircut and all this stuff, and take care of yourself. All of a sudden you're having a midlife crisis, mister. You're trying to hang on to your youth, and that's really not the reason, right? The whole midlife crisis thing is a complete hoax, by the way. But again, I'm doing a separate coaching video on that. But all it is really is you're at a point where now you've worked your entire life to get to this level in life where you can finally afford the things that you wanted as a child, right? You could just afford those things, so you go out and get those things. It doesn't mean you have a midlife crisis. I mean, that's why it's just a hoax. Oh, you could get the hot girl all of a sudden. Now you're, and you're gonna do that. So what? Have a midlife crisis? No, of course not, right? It's just that now you could afford those things. Just like women who are your own age. They've been working their whole lives, so what do these women do? They go out shopping, they get the $1,500 Louis Vuitton purse, they get the $2,200 Jimmy Choo shoes, and they get the jewelry they wanted, they get the outfits they always wanted, they get the convertible BMW they always wanted. How come nobody accuses them of having a midlife crisis? No, it's just you could finally afford what you've always wanted, the finer things in life, as we call it. But as for men, you should not have any fear about getting older, right? You should look forward to trying to just engage with life as much as possible, to grow as much as possible, to become the best, absolute best version of yourself as possible, and relish in the fact that, hey, as I get older, I gain more social power. You just will, right? Just by default, even if all you do is gain knowledge as you get older, you gain more social power, right? Your status goes up and up and up. Where it doesn't work the same way for women, mostly because, and I teach this on my dating channel, and a lot of women don't like to hear this, but it's just a biological fact of life that women's almost entire social value is tied to their physical attractiveness and their youth, right? And these are just things you can't control as a female, right? As they get older, they lose what? Their physical attractiveness, and they lose their youth. And of course, a lot of females will fight that. Like, no, I know women who are 50 years old who give 20-year-old women a run for their money. And it's like, no, I hate it when they do those false comparison. I mean, that's like, talk about fake news. I mean, that's like, you can't compare apples to oranges and be like, oh, this 50-year-old former hottie that's still thin and fit is way better looking than that 22-year-old gross, obese, fat chick who is like, eating McDonald's every day. Like, no, you can't do those comparisons. You would have to look at that 50-year-old woman who was, who's still fit and attractive. How did she look when she was 20, right? 30 years ago. She probably looked 1,000 times better, right? 1,000 times more attractive. So that's how you do those comparisons. But for women, as I was saying, their entire social value is tied to their youth and physical attractiveness. So when those things go down, guess what? Their social status goes down. Their social value goes down. Their sexual marketplace value goes down. Everything goes down. And this is why statistically, all the data points to the same thing, that as women get older, they get more miserable, they get more depressed, they start taking more antidepressants. That's just facts, right? You could research that. Those are facts. As they get old, as women get older, they become less happier. But, you know what's also fact? As men get older, we become more happier. How is that possible? Men, as we get older, we become more happier because happiness is tied to social status and social value. And as we get older, just by default, we gain more social value and more social status, not through our looks, or our youth, because that's not really what we are valued for as guys. We're not valued for our youth or physical attractiveness, right? Of course, everyone's always going to notice you if you're good looking, right? But that's not primarily what gives us our social status. What gives us our social status are our resources, our finances, our knowledge, our depth, our understanding of the world, our life experiences. All of these things, our maturity, our confidence, all of these things begin to work in our favor as we get older, and they just happen to us by default. You can't avoid these things. It's going to happen to you as a man. You're just going to become wiser and wiser and wiser as you get older, and you're going to gain in more social status. You cannot avoid it. You're just going to become better and better as you get older, right? You're going to age like a fine wine. That's why they have that, saying. It's not the nicest. Like, men age like a fine wine, women age like spoiled milk. Right? That's what they say. That's, don't shoot the messenger. I mean, that's been around, for years, for decades now. They've always said that. But there's a reason for that. There's a reason for these statistics of why women get more miserable as they get older, while men get more happier as they get older, right? So this is why I say, hey, do not fret if you are getting older. A man should never be worried about getting older because things are just getting better and better for you, right? And they are, right? You just have to embrace it and just don't listen to the Matrix or the mainstream telling you that, you're having a midlife crisis, getting these younger girls that want you. Oh, Mr. Getting, the brand new Ferrari just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should buy it. It's like, no, you go buy that Ferrari, man. If you want it, go get it, right? Life is too short, man. Go enjoy it and don't let anybody shame you for it. But as always, gentlemen, drop your comments below. Let me know what you think of tonight's coaching video. Anything you'd like to add, anything you'd like to share, drop them in the comments below. As always, this is Matt Cross from AlphaMaleSecrets signing out. Don't forget to smash the like button, smash the subscribe button, smash that notification bell for me as well. Helps me out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And for you guys who want to support my work, best way to do that, just become a premium subscriber of my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel, which I'm hosting on a private platform. The reason I'm doing that is to protect my premium content from YouTube. In the event they try to shut us down, they will not be able to because I'm paying for this private platform. So right now it's only $1 to become a premium AlphaMaleSecrets subscriber of my premium AlphaMaleSecrets channel. So take advantage of it. All you need to do is click the link below in my description box. It will take you over to my website where you can get signed up right now. It just takes 2 seconds. So do that now, and I'll see you in my next coaching video. I'm out.